Greenwood had a pop. Woodman still kept. And guess who's there? Throw and support from Obadia. Alexander Arnold and 100 Premier League goals.
Great to be here once again. My name is Ehis Anthony on the footy with FPL. No, did I say FPL? EPL review. FPL don't enter my head. Child, we've been playing FPL every day. FPL has entered my head. Apologies for that, but it is the EPL review, our very first episode of this season, 2022-2023 season. Arsenal balling, Manchester United on a revival mission, Liverpool redemption 9-0 against Bournemouth, and also Kane scoring, trying to break all the records of our highest goal scorer in the EPL. And also we look at Conte's tactics for Tottenham, kind of shitty tactics in my own opinion, though, as an Arsenal fan, because Nottingham Forest could have taken Spurs to the cleaners yesterday, but they just couldn't do it. But Tottenham won that game. As we all know, we didn't have to go into details. We all know what is happening in the EPL right now. Arsenal is sitting in the first position, followed by Manchester City, followed by Tottenham. And I have a full house today. I don't know. I hope we are able to fit into the 30 minutes bracket, but it is what it is. We move. My name is Ehis Anthony, as I said, and it's a full house, starting from the right corner, playing from the right wing. Dipo, what's up?
Hey, hi guys. Good to be back after a brief hiatus.
Yeah, good to have you back. And also from the left wing is Akin. What's up? How you doing, the Arsenal man?
I'm good, yeah. I'm good.
Today.
You know, it's lonely when they are at the top of the table, you know.
Yeah.
There's no.
He's all right. He's all right. Easy. I'm playing from the back. The solid defender. Okpe, what's up? How you doing?
I mean, it feels good. It feels good to be an Arsenal fan. That's why I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey on a Monday. You know, top of the table. What can I say? But let me dive into this. I'm happy to see Chimamaka. Chimamaka is shining bright. This is the brightest I've seen him in a very long time. I'm happy to have Chimamaka on this show right now.
Yeah, I'm playing from the striker position. Chimamaka, what's up? Even if Chelsea lack strikers at the moment, but Chimamaka is playing from the striking position today. What's up, Chimamaka?
Yeah, it's good to be here again. It's good to see to have a full house today. I'm seeing all smiles in the house. Arsenal have been smiling since I think the first week of August, and I see Dipo is back from the walloping of the 4-0, and Chelsea also receiving their own. So it's a full house. Everybody came out with a victory this weekend. So it's expected for us to smile. So I like this. It's good to be here again, guys.
So let's start with you, Chimamaka. Arsenal's impressive start to the season. 4 games, 4 wins, sitting comfortable at the top of the season, at the top of the table. What do you say about Arsenal?
Arsenal. Man, I am actually the last person to actually say good things about Arsenal, but I'll give it to them. They have this thing that we've not seen in some of the teams this season, and that's that zeal, that desire to want to win. And it's been a long time we've seen this from that Arsenal football club as a whole. It's been a very long time we've seen such kind of fight, such kind of drive, such kind of hunger. And well, they are staking their name already. We have had 4 games in the EPL already, and these guys are sitting on the top of the log. Let's pray, let's fast, and let's hope that this continues till the end of the first half of the season. But for now, I give it to them. They are ticking all the right boxes. They are doing everything right as it stands. And it's a plus. It's a plus for our guys on the red side of London.
Dipo, as a Manchester United fan, we know Manchester United didn't start well. This is kind of similar. Arsenal last season started 3 games, lost 3 games, conceded 9, didn't score any. But this season, different ball game, won 4, scored about, I think they've considered 3 and scored 11. So they're on +8 right now. What's your take on Arsenal's performance at the beginning of the season?
Well, I would rather say I'd rather leave them to face the big boys, but not to take anything away from what Arsenal have achieved so far this season. I think it's best to start racking up the points, something they didn't do early enough last season, and which cost them the Champions League slot. So Arsenal started well, 12 points out of a possible 12. It will count for the future, basically, essentially. Something that might haunt Liverpool come end of the season. So Arsenal are doing good, stepped up, at least had a better start this season. From the first game of the season, I knew, or the very first game of the season, I knew Arsenal was going to win that match because he set up the team properly. And there's nothing as good as winning your first game. It gives you confidence into facing subsequent matches. So yeah, Arsenal are doing the right things now, winning dirty, winning well, gathering all 3 points essentially, which is what you expect from the team that has a lot to prove, basically. So yeah, Arsenal are a top side at the moment. Hopefully they won't slack or fall behind like in past seasons. Kudos to Arsenal, kudos to the Gunners there.
So straight up, nice one there. I'm going to switch to Akin. I can see Akin smacking his face, he's smiling. Every Arsenal fan right now working at, they have chips on their shoulders, like yes, on top of the league. But seriously, Akin, I saw a tweet. I don't know. I think I shared it on the group. There's this pundit. What's his name again? Who can remind me? That was asking, or he was making analysis on why is Arsenal celebrating after defeating Fulham. So what you take, despite it was dogged, like Dipo said, that Arsenal had to win.
Richard
Richard Keys.
Oh, Richard Keys.
Richard Keys.
Yeah, and the guy was all and making his analysis, saying why is Arsenal celebrating. And I saw a picture yesterday of
That's why
Emirates.
It can't be regular people.
And I saw a picture yesterday after Arsenal's victory against Fulham. It was packed and it was full. The fans were still there, to celebrate the 3 points. As an Arsenal fan, what was your take? I know you've had your say on the Arsenal Fan Corner episode on Footweek, but what can you say? What's the difference about this Arsenal side this season with the impressive start? Quick one.
Okay. First of all, let me start. Is like Okwe said, is being a very, very salty person. And then when you're doing so well, they always want to have something to say. So but then just to stay relevant, when you're winning, everybody wants to stay relevant to your gist now. You get so yeah, that's just, and I don't know what club he supports, but that's really, really, really on his part. And then the difference between this Arsenal team, and I think Dipo said that he's going to leave us to face the big boys. But I think in Prem, like this season, we're seeing it. The way teams are stacking up players going for like serious quality this season. So there is really, really no big Castle drawing to Man City. Crystal Palace almost taking them to the cleaners every single. So and I think Arsenal's success this season is not just starting this season, back to the end of last season. You could see, even for injury, I think Arsenal would have gotten the Champions League of like work they've done last season, and give or take nice predictions. First 10 games, I'm looking forward to 4th of September against Manchester United. 10 games, that's not showing it.
Hey, slow your roll, son. Slow your roll, son. Just
Well,
concentrate on the sports. Take it easy.
Brazil.
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy. Because really, I think Arsenal fans, you guys are beginning to, boast a lot, and I don't understand. Manchester United, there's an Aston Villa, I guess, before Manchester United at the Emirates. So Why? I
No, no.
think the concentration. If I'm to follow Mikel Arteta's thoughts, the concentration should be game after game, and I think I like that approach. Okay, I know you have a lot to say. Arsenal's impressive season. Just a minute. Let's just round this up. Where
Uh,
is
I think I can say good things that I want. Everyone has good things I want to hear, but let me start by saying that I was, as you all
Oh no.
I've been one of Arteta's biggest critics, and at the start of this season and towards the end of last season, he always keeps asking me this question: Are you Team Arteta in? Are you Team Arteta out? And honestly, I am almost tempted to say I am Team Arteta in, but I'm not going to say yet. You know what? But so far so good. I like what was the mentality. Mentality monster. Take a look at the reaction of the players after I got that goal. Look at Saliba, someone who I thought wasn't so expressive. Look at Zinchenko, someone who's not a brace on his knee, jumping up from the bench, going to challenge the fourth official, going to hug the boys once they scored the goal. Look at the reaction from Gabriel Jesus, who was verified. I mean, ridiculous. I've not seen this type of camaraderie in an Arsenal team in a very, very long time. So it's good to be an Arsenal fan. I understand why some people are jumping over the gun, but you know what? It's good to be an Arsenal fan. I'll leave it at that.
Well, like I said, for me, my philosophy is you just have to beat what is in front of you. And yesterday we saw, Liverpool, for instance, struggled against Fulham, struggled against Crystal Palace, lost to Manchester United, and when Bournemouth came, it was a total hammering. I think we'll switch to Liverpool right now. Redemption win for them because they didn't start the season very well as compared to last season. Selling money, we know it's a big shoe for you to fill. I don't know if Darwin Núñez will be able to fill that Mane's shoe, but it was impressive for Liverpool. 9-0, stacking. Someone said today that they just had to, all the debts they are owing. It's like they used, in terms of goals considered, they used it in paying back. So Chimamaka, quick one. Liverpool's performance.
Wow, it was amazing, sincerely. There's actually nothing much to say about Liverpool. They had to. I think they didn't start off the season as they expected. We saw how they started last season. When they started last season, it was a very tight contest between Manchester City and Liverpool as at last season. But this season, how it came up all out is not what they expected. A Fulham that just came from the Championship put them toe-to-toe on 2-2. They had to fight their way into even getting a draw in that game. And eventually, everybody, including the bookies, had written off Manchester United. And those guys had to come back. That is Man U. Man U came back from a 4-0 defeat to come and defeat a Liverpool that we expected would have a free drive in the park. But it was a different ball game. But I think the anger or the bitterness of the second and the third match of the season, wherein they played, they had to take it out on Bournemouth. I wouldn't blame Liverpool for doing that, but performance-wise, it was a very good performance. But I want to pick out a player in that game. If you guys watch that game very well, you realize that there was a certain Mohamed Salah that was missing.
Oh,
I don't know
FPL.
who. I don't know.
I don't know. Salah, man.
I don't know who is with me on this, but a certain Salah who actually plays or is the best player or the best attacker in Liverpool didn't score a goal out of 9 goals.
Didn't even have an assist.
So please, it only tells us one thing. It tells us one thing, that the impact of Sadio Mane in Liverpool is much more integral in my own own opinion, more integral or more important than the Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying so, I don't know. But you realize that since Mane had left or has left, there has been struggles in the Liverpool front line.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in a platform, and Okwe was there. Well, some guy almost chopped my head off when I said,
you know what, Ehis, I was about to say that. I was asking Chimamaka, please, Ehis, give me the honors of saying this, right? Ehis and
No,
I
no
were
problem, no
on a
problem.
different football platform. Ehis did mention that look, Mane has been critical and has been integral to the success of Salah. In terms of
Yeah.
Mane, it's going to be difficult for Salah. Some Liverpool fan went haywire and says Ehis must be drinking or Ehis must be like that. And now look at we. How many games into this? Let's forget about the second game week. There's a record of Mohamed Salah never in the second match day. Now many more matches going into the fifth match day, if I'm not mistaken. But most importantly, that
Yeah, you're
game
right.
against Bournemouth, it's ridiculous. How Mohamed Salah did not score a goal the rest is beyond me. Let's not forget those two blunders that I'm not going to forget those two blunders alone. That's not acceptable. So easy to say that Mane was the bedrock of Salah's success. I think I'm very valid saying that right now because we can see the way Mane is just shining in the Bundesliga. Week in, week out, like is nothing to him. So Chimamaka, you are very right. And I obviously agree with Ehis. Mane was a huge bedrock for the success of Mo Salah.
Well, I don't know, like I said, it's too early to call though because anything can happen. They play Nottingham Forest in their next fixture, and he is my captain. Apparently he's my vice cap. I had to go and sign up Haaland because we can see what Dipo is doing on our FPL. Dipo is number one right now on the footy with the FPL league. He's doing wonders having Haaland in his
Blazing
team.
the
So
trail.
I jumped from number 8 to number 60 thanks to Haaland, thanks to Salah. From number 8 to 60.
Number what?
Yeah. God.
man, that was a heavy fall, man.
That's it.
So you can imagine over the weekend, I was like, okay, I didn't watch the match real time, but I was checking live scores and I saw Liverpool 1, 2, 3. So I was like, oh, thank God, Salah will at least score or make an assist. So when it was 8-0, I decided to check. I decided to click on it, and I saw that Salah was not even anywhere in terms of goals scored or assists. So it's like, what the heck? But like I said, it's too early for us to jump on Salah to say he's not going to perform. It's just 4 games. So who knows? His revival could start from Nottingham Forest on Wednesday or Tuesday. I don't know when they're playing particularly. But let's jump straight to Manchester United. We have the Manchester United fan in the house. Beginning of the season, it all looked gloomy. It all looked dark. It all looked, like blunt. But that game against Liverpool was the revival game, was the redemption game for Eric Ten Hag. And we saw what happened against Southampton. Had to dig deep also to win against Southampton. And 6 points on the table right now. Manchester United. And we could see what they did today. We heard the news of Anthony coming in. So, great times at Manchester United. Dipo Ogun.
Well, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not fooled or swayed by whatever has happened with Manchester United. It's a good win against Liverpool, a lucky win against Southampton. If I still to myself, but I'm still not confident. But we're not allowed to spend up to £500 million to 200,000 players in the transfer window. So I'm not going to cut. I'm going to cut Ten Hag some slack. But going back to the game against Southampton, I think we were lucky. I think Southampton should have won or even put off a draw. We won that game, and the lads, they stood their ground. Shout out to Lisandro Martinez, which and we can see David Ehis smiling. After many games, it was needed. But is Manchester United ready? I don't think so. I think they're still far from the way they want them to be. Yeah, Anthony is coming in today. I usually tend to shy away from giving players that have been hyped for the touch league coming to the Premier League. Especially when the pie comes to mind. He wasn't particularly good for Manchester United. It's got a few years. Anthony, good what you hear about him, but I think he was overpriced.
100 million, I guess.
What is it?
100 million, I heard.
Yeah, but
Yeah, 100 million euros.
said if Chelsea can spend 70 million pounds on a player that's never been capped for the French national team, then I think football is going crazy in terms of numbers. I've been paying
Crazy, isn't it?
top dollar.
Now, I want you to explain that further, please. I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say, please.
Shots
No,
fired.
I'm not getting you. I'm not getting you. Please be explicit.
but if father wants 70 million, ask yourself.
Well, 70 million pounds, not bad.
The money is available.
It's not
yes,
bad.
the money is available, but
It's not bad. When I mean it's not bad, we have been pushed or we have been boxed. Wherein we are personally, I wouldn't spend such. I wouldn't spend that amount.
That's what
I
makes it
wouldn't
bad.
do
The
that.
that was the question
fact
I
that
asked
you're
you about.
boxed into spending that amount of money.
Now, I wouldn't do that. No, but why? I'm about to say something. If we are going to be spending 70 million on a player, let's not forget, it's not about spending the money. We are buying out his contract. That guy has 5 years. He has 5 years contract.
Well,
So,
I think Chelsea
if you
didn't
are
get the
gonna-
memo. I think Chelsea
So-
didn't get the memo. Remember when Arsenal played Leicester City, with the way Martinelli went in and out of Fofana? I think
Yeah,
with that,
it was no.
he reduced his
Either the
prime.
memo. If you checked that game, you know that on stats, that guy was the best player in Leicester City in that game. I was shocked, despite the
Well.
fact he was the best player in Leicester City in that
And it
game.
was in the defense
On
that considered
statistics.
for. Yeah.
I don't know if you understand. Now, we
Yeah.
thank God he's just one player. I believe with additions by his side, with experience, he's gonna do better. He's 21. He's just 21. So I don't see that. It's not a big deal. We have some of the best defenders in the world, and
Yeah.
with him coming in, it's not.
The best defenders in the world that you have.
Whoa, I don't think you have anybody who is very Koulibaly in your team. Do you?
I didn't say Manchester United have. You know what? When I spoke, I said Manchester United. I know where I want them. So I just asked you, but who are the best defenders in the world?
I said we have some of the best defenders in the world. We have a 37-year-old Thiago Silva. There's no defender in Manchester United presently who is as good as that guy. And I stand to be corrected. No, I'm just telling you. I'm just defending my club. If you have any defender, if there's any defender as formidable as that guy presently in Manchester United, please mention the name. He's not. Martinez cannot lace the boots of Thiago. Talk about Thiago Silva.
No, if we look at, come on, let's be sincere. If we look at the numbers this
Wow.
season, if we can just go online and look at all the stats right now,
My guy is on
Martinez has a better start as compared to Thiago Silva. 4 games after for Chelsea, 4 games after for Martinez, despite being dropped against who was it dropped against? I think it was dropped after that.
I like your stats.
Yeah.
I like, but I still stand to be corrected. Martinez cannot lace the boots of Thiago Silva at 37 years.
Well, okay,
Yes.
that being said, let's still concentrate on
Let's not
what
forget
we're
he's
discussing.
37.
No
Good.
problem. No problem.
Yeah,
So we're talking about what
Ronaldo's boots in your team, but hey, we are not comparing players here. We're talking about
perfect response. Nice clap back. Dipo, nice one.
Ronaldo is 37 and players that lose his boots. Who the hell is Thiago Silva in the scheme of things?
But
Was it-
if you're going to be saying that, no, if you're going to be saying that, if you're going to be saying that, I mentioned some of the players in the world. Thiago Silva stands in that class. Martinez is not yet
But
in
they
that
released
class.
a list of 30 players.
Now, I'm coming back. Dipo, I'm coming back to what you said. You said which world class defenders do I have in my club? And I mentioned Thiago Silva. Presently, as it stands, Martinez is not yet reckoned as a top defender in the world. If I'm wrong, correct me.
That is according to what.
So I have mentioned one. I've mentioned one.
Yeah.
Can you also mention one presently?
Okay, I hear you. No,
That's good.
For our listeners listening,
footballer.
watching this video on our YouTube channel, this is Football Updates EPL review, not the Footy with fan debate, because it's beginning to look like Manchester United versus Chelsea. But by the way, let's still stick. Let's still stick
And
with the
besides,
topic.
some people are still
Dipo.
below me on the table, man. They're talking.
Yeah.
Wow. Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten
Yes,
Hag. Now it looks as if before just a minute. Do you see Eric Ten Hag, ETH for short, taking Manchester United back to the glory days?
well, not to take anything away from what he's achieved. I think we'll need a lot of patience for him, really. But how many clubs will be that patient? He's getting players that he's asking for. Trust me, if he doesn't perform, he gets the boot. So nobody will want to see where he's coming from or what he's trying to do. They will want to judge him based on what is happening currently. Football fans of these days are not patient. Look at how it happened with Chelsea, Newcastle, Manchester City, and the likes. It takes a lot, but these days football, nobody is patient anymore. So you have to hit the ground running. With what he's got in this season, I'll be shocked if he makes it to the top four. I'm not giving that chance, but a lot of us want to see beautiful football come back to Manchester United. A lot of us want to see that Manchester United can actually compete if we're not winning. A lot of us want to see that there's a bright future. And until we understand, I always say until we understand that hiring and firing coaches is no silver bullet for success. Even players, the guys in the boardroom that wear the tie and suit should be held accountable for whatever happens on the pitch. The moment the Glazers are kicked off the Manchester United history, then I think none returns Manchester United, hope will return to Manchester United. And I see that happening in less than 2-3 years. So yeah, maybe Ten Hag will still be at the helm, but right now, I doubt if he will be given a lot of time to thrive and set the ball rolling for future successes.
Okay, I'm going to jump on you because this is kind of like similar to the Mikel Arteta's case. Arteta joined Arsenal 2020, now 3 full seasons into his tenure at Arsenal. Eric Ten Hag has hit the ground running, starting with two defeats in his competition in the EPL. Why do I keep saying FPL? Come on, EPL. Do you see Ten Hag taking Manchester United back to the glory days? I just shared a picture right now from BR Football. It looks as if it's just going into the Ajax basket, just to shop and pick the players. Like they tagged it straight out of Ajax, not Conte though. So what's you take?
Yeah. If we're being fair, let me start by saying that Mikel Arteta, a former assistant coach at Manchester City, signed first of all Pablo Mari. He worked with Pablo Mari at Manchester City, and from Manchester City, Pablo Mari went to Flamengo. He signed him from Flamengo. Alexander Zinchenko, and some Arsenal that probably Arteta should go for Ilkay Gundogan. That's just for another. But the fact is that Ten Hag is signing players within his own network,
even though he's 31.
Ten Hag is signing players within his own network, and I must say that his network is quite weak. Obviously, that means that Ajax is the only flight team with quality players that Ten Hag has managed in the past. It's good to know that Ten Hag knows how to win trophies. Ten Hag has competed in the Champions League. One. Number two, Ten Hag had 3 years left with Ajax. So for him to have come to Manchester United, number one, we know it's a good opportunity. But I believe that he would have been given some sort of assurance for a couple of years. Look, I need time to test. I need time for trials. And I believe that's why he's getting the backing of the board. Arsenal is different from Manchester United. Arsenal are lucky enough to have American owners who actually love football. It's all about business for the Glazers. From the inception, the way they took over Manchester United, it's been all about business. For me, I totally lost faith in Manchester United, or rather, I started having fear in United when the Glazers put the club in the streets. That's when I know, look, it's all about business. That's Pogba, players who can repay the transfer fee with jersey sales. That's the way the Glazers are thinking. It's all about good business because these guys have got a huge franchise in the world of sports, But I would like to think that Eric Ten Hag will be different. The Manchester United fans have had enough, especially those residents in England. They've registered their displeasure, especially when United wanted to come out to be a member of the Super League. That's a major reason why Ed Woodward is no longer at the helm at Manchester United. Things are changing, quote unquote, and I do hope so. And then the best thing is that Ten Hag is already implementing his policy in the team. We saw that straight away from preseason. However, he doesn't have all the players needed to effectively turn out this team. You could see that he's already chasing the players that he doesn't need and the players that he feels like cannot work under his system. Alec Telles is gone. He has gone out to loan. Xavier has been asked from the squad. We've not seen Phil Jones at all being part of the team. Being asked out from the squad already. So, and then we even know the users that he's incorporating into the squad, those that can work. The truth is that only time will tell. So far, so good. It looks good for them. I can tell you if Anthony will hit the ground running or not, honestly. Anthony is 22 years old, same age as Jadon Sancho. Sancho had a fantastic time in the Bundesliga. It's finding it difficult to hit the ground running at the United. Some fans are saying he's not a left winger, he's a right winger. He should stay there. Look, it's all about probabilities with United. Only time will tell.
Apt analysis from you, but for me, I just feel someone said we shouldn't be using gut feeling. That when we use our gut feeling to analyze, it shows we're not good football analysts. But the question I ask is, if you don't use your gut feeling, padded or added with stats, how your analysis? For me, I'm going to use my gut. F whatever he says. He knows himself. Okay, should I throw this or I should just keep quiet? So let me just keep quiet. But the thing is, I predicted Manchester United this season that they are going to be in the top 4. He said I was crazy. I didn't know what I was saying. But Manchester United, with the way they are going, they are a team we should be careful of because I know Dipo is smacking, looking at me like, what's this guy saying? But really, Manchester United we need to be wary of Manchester United because with the way Eric Ten Hag have started, benching Ronaldo, benching the captain, Harry Maguire, he's here to make a change. He's here to do that business. And I see Manchester United. I said it, that Southampton was a game I wanted to look out for. If it was just paper over cracks against Liverpool, but they showed the grit, they showed the tenacity, they showed the fighting spirit, and they picked up valuable 3 points. Other teams have gone to St. Mary's and they've fallen. Is either they go there, they take the D, but they went there and they took the W, which is massive. The next game, I don't know who they are playing against, but let's just take a chill pill for next weekend, which is Arsenal, Manchester United, Arsenal. It's going to be a cracker. But straight up, let's move to this guy. Akin, I'm going to start with you. Harry Kane scoring like tomorrow no day in the local parlance here. He has broken Henry's record. I'm sorry, as an Arsenal fan, but he looks like he's going to break those records. But the bad thing about it is, or the sad thing about it is, he has scored all these goals without winning a trophy. Sorry that I anchored you with that, but I know you're an Arsenal fan. You would want to throw that as a diss. But is it not impressive from Harry Kane? Akin, we can't hear you. You're muted. Oh, sorry. We cannot hear you. Maybe you need to join the stream again. Okay, Chumamaka, let me just jump to you, Harry Kane. What say you about Harry Kane?
I wouldn't be training any darts this time. As a striker, he's done very well, to be very frank with you. It's not easy going to break several records in one club. He's actually been very unlucky not to register this amount of goals with at least a silverware. So as a striker, he's doing an amazing job. In fact, every box regarding striking, he's ticking everything. He's doing amazingly well, sincerely. Because if looking at Harry Kane, he's actually been he's been doing this over time. He has had this consistency that has brought him to the level where he is, and you cannot take that away from him. He's one of those Premier League strikers that gives you 20 goals in a season consistently, and that's good. That's good for
Did
him.
he hit the
But
20? Did he hit the 20 mark last season?
no,
I think
he
Son,
didn't. He didn't. He
Son
didn't.
had 22. Yeah.
21, 21 or 22, but he didn't. But he gives you a consistent. Okay, I wouldn't use a 20, but I'll use a 20. He does a consistent 20 with or without injuries. So it only tells you how good he is. The downside of this whole scoring is the fact that there are no silverwares that can be
Audi Cup.
attached to this,
Audi
and that's the
Cup.
bad thing. I don't know how he's going to do it. If he would eventually leave Spurs to at least lift something before he ends his career scoring 500 goals without a trophy, it's going to sound very good bad. I don't know how it's going to be. So I love what he's doing, but he should go to a trophy winning club to show that he can continue doing this. At Spurs, I'm sorry, he won't get nowhere.
Akin, your thoughts on Harry Kane? Quick one. I think we can hear you now. Akin's man, the gremlins have taken over. Akin, we can't seem to hear you, man. Wow, gremlins. Quick one. Dipo and just to round off, Dipo and Okwe. Chimamaka just mentioned something that he needs to go to a team where he would have to win trophies. But the twist to that is they signed a certain Antonio Conte last season, and they said Antonio Conte is a serial winner. Because of Antonio Conte taking over the helms of affairs at Tottenham, Spurs have or has the tendency to win a trophy, even if it's an FA Cup, even if it's a Carabao Cup. But last season, he lost in every cup competition just to concentrate in the EPL. So do you see Conte and his tactics bringing Tottenham back to the glory days? Because looking at yesterday, if Tottenham had played a ruthless side, possibly they might have been down like 4-0 in the first half or 4-1 after that goal Harry Kane scored. But what's your take on Conte's tactics? Can Dipo hear me?
Well, yeah, I can hear you. I thought I was going in first. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Antonio Conte. I just think his tactics with his certain sports. So if you look at his time at Chelsea, he had a way of bringing in whoever I wanted to bring in. He had money to spend, a whole lot of money to spend. At Tottenham, yeah, he's bought overpriced players, to be honest. Replacement shouldn't have bought that much. But Bissouma, maybe. Where's Bissouma now? He's not a regular. He's not starting. And that's someone that played in EPL the whole of last season. So what excuse are we making for someone that is not playing regularly? Conte, he might win a trophy this season. I won't write him out of that. Maybe Carabao Cup. But his tactics with Spurs, I think it won't. It's not working for me. Basically, I would have preferred if he had the players, the players that could execute his style. The players that some players use that Inter Milan, some players he used when in his first season at Chelsea. But currently, well, they're hitting the right notes. Maybe a good try against Chelsea, a game they should have lost. Like you said, against Nottingham Forest, they have played the more ruthless side. They have probably been taken to the corner, maybe beat like 3-4-0 by a bigger and better side. But with the way it's going, I think you might have to adjust a bit to win a trophy. Any trophy is a trophy. If you look at Harry Kane, my friend used to say statistics are like miniskirts. They cover the most important bit. He scored a goal. He turned of goals.
That's an analogy, man.
He scored a ton of goals, but then we have to sit down and we analyze Harry Kane. The first thing we talk about is he never won anything with his club. Imagine also scoring 1,000 goals and no trophy. Really, would you compare him to a Lionel Messi? No way. So, like Chiamamaka said, maybe he has to move to a bigger club or a club that would at least guarantee, even if it's community shield. At least let me do something before.
It's not that bad. Community shield.
Come on, we saw how Darwin Nunes celebrated winning the Community Shield. We saw how Darwin Nunes celebrated when he won this Community Shield.
Exactly. I thought this league was over at that
You're
time.
right.
But we came in, scored a goal, and just as he needs to do something big. Really, if he had gone to Manchester City, maybe he would have been boasting of the Premier League title at this point in time. But hey, he needs to step up. He's doing a good job as a striker. He's doing his work. But when the curtains are drawn, will he have anything to show? Time will tell. Maybe if they win the World Cup in 2022. I'm tipping him out to go.
I know as an Arsenal fan, if I tend to talk about Conte tactics, it will look as if I am being biased. But I will just allow Okwe, the other Arsenal fan, to just give us just a few minutes and let's round off. What's your take on Conte's tactics? I just hope on the day we play the NLD, Conte sets up the way he set up against Nottingham Forest yesterday. I just pray.
For me, first off, with Conte's tactics, to be honest, tactically speaking, as an analyst, I rate Conte. Conte is someone who I've watched since he was at Juventus. I saw the way he resuscitated Juventus after many years of not winning any silverware. I saw him move Juventus from a 4-4-2 to a 3 at the back, and I saw how successful he was for 5 to 6 years. Came to Chelsea, did the same thing. Went to Inter, did the same thing. But there's just one aspect of him which I don't like, and that is the anti to him. He seems to want to always play on intelligence, And sometimes I don't like the way he treats players. He is the type of manager that look giving the boots either way. And for example, I feel I think Conte has put a stop to the progression of Harry Winks' career. Now Winks has to go on loan to Sampdoria. That's a move that he doesn't want. That's a player that I don't think he probably thought he was going to spend the rest of his career at Spurs. And thanks to Antonio Conte, that's not going to work. But talking about Harry Kane, I think one of the biggest regrets Harry Kane would have in his life signing that contract extension in 2020.
Yeah, true.
I believe that was the undoing of Kane's career. Majorly because, him being so young, getting into the team, he faced a lot of years with bad injury. Got it right in terms of his physique. He was scoring well. He was in a good position with years left on his contract. He was in a good position to leave Spurs at that time for a reasonable fee within the range of £65 million to 80 million. And what does Harry Kane do? Harry Kane goes ahead to sign a 5-year contract extension, with Pochettino at the helm, thinking that, Poch to take them to the promised land. He lost hope in Poch, was let down by Daniel Levy, if you ask me, because he was never given the back end in terms of funds.
Like he had backed Conte.
He started going down the drain. Harry Kane is now clamoring to leave. And Daniel Levy is like, look, you've got a valuable contract here with me. I'm not going for anything less than £120 million. And then this is someone who is already, 28, 27, and who wants to spend £120 million on a 28-year-old striker who sometimes could be injury prone. Harry Kane, at the end of the day, when you look back at his career, he the reason for his downfall because he put himself out. I hope you may not fall into the same shoes because I think he's very going in that path. If you ask me. I always, for the last 3 years, I've tweeted this unconsciously. In 2020, or rather in the 2019-20 season, I believe Real Madrid made a mistake by signing Eden Hazard at that time. My own opinion. So, yes, that's what I feel about Harry Kane and the tactics of Antonio Conte.
Man, see, the network wasn't that clear, but our listeners and people watching this video on YouTube, you just have to, just sympathize with with us in terms of quality network, this is what we get. We're in Nigeria, and it wasn't that kind of clear, but we just have to manage. But truly, it's been nice doing this with you guys on the first episode of the EPL review 2022-2023 season. And thank you, Dipo, for coming on. Thank you, Chimamaka. Thank you, Okwe. Chimamaka is back, smiling. You could
My
come and
pleasure.
see Chimamaka last season when Chelsea went on that run, and when Ibrahimovic was kicked out. Chimamaka went on an emotional. Okwe, should I yab him or I should calm down?
Any
Please calm
any
down.
yab, any
I'm-
yab
I'm
is
glad to
no,
see
it's
Chimamaka
accepted
like
because
this, my-
I've
Dipo,
gone past
you
that
need-
actually. But
you
during
need to
that
come and
period,
see.
oh,
You
that
need to
period
come and
was
see
something
Chimamaka
else.
that
Oh,
period.
God.
Chimamaka went into
Oh no,
like a emotional meltdown.
I
And
think
like
he
I
was
said, he's the
he
I
was-
was
he was
actually
depressed.
I was down. I was exactly, but that's the right word. I was depressed as a Chelsea fan. Oh God,
man. But it's good to see you back.
I'm out of it
And
now.
it's good to see you
Yeah,
back.
thank
It's good
you.
to see you back. Welcome. For all our listeners and people watching us on YouTube, you can also follow Dipo. He has a platform called Movies, Music, and More, where they talk about movies, movies, music, and sports. MMS, where they talk about movies, music, and sports. Good content they have there. You can just check them out. MMS on social, right? Dipo at
MMS on Instagram. Yeah.
Yep, MMS on Instagram. And also you can follow FootyWheat on all socials. We are at FootyWheat on Instagram and on Twitter. You can also listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Anchor. And also, please, we're trying to build our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We're coming up with a lot of content this season. We have the FPL scoop, we have the EPL review, and we also have the fan corner. We had to slow down on the fan corner, but hopefully next weekend or this coming weekend we'll start again. Thank you all for listening and taking your time out to watch this video. So please subscribe. From us here, ciao.